The Argentine War of Independence by Jaden, Saren, Michael, and Ada.
The revolution in Argentina began in May of 1810, when the Spanish viceroys overthrown. They declared their independence soon after, but it wasn't formally recognized until 1816, which is where their Independence Day is dated, on July 9th. Argentina, along with several other South American countries, came together to become the United Provinces of Rio de Plata. This lasted for several years until they eventually broke up and became their own sovereign nations. The main causes of Argentina's individual revolt was mostly a result of enlightened ideals and inspiration from other nations' revolutions. Spain was also exploiting Argentina, restricting their trade, manufacturing, and their self-industry. There was a sense of nationalism in Argentina at the time, so revolting against Spain was looked down upon, especially with Spanish loyalists. In 1808, Napoleon replaced the Spanish king with his own brother, and as a result, many colonies wanted independence as they saw the new rule as illegitimate and saw no loyalty to the Spanish crown. This led to the revolution in Argentina and many of its neighboring countries as well, with the most notable being Argentina's itself.
One of the important people of this fight for independence was José de San Martin. He was a soldier and statesman who actually helped win independence from Spain for several colonies in South America, not just Argentina but also Chile and Peru. This is all due to his skills and might with the military. He was born in another city in Argentina but moved to Buenos Aires at a young age. Throughout his life, he had many experiences in the Spanish army from 1789 to 1811. He was in the Spanish army and served for some time, but resigned in 1812 to go support Argentina in the revolution. He was actually responsible for the attack to dislodge the Spanish in Chile. Another important person for this War of Independence was Bartolomé Mitre, who was the first president of a unified Argentina in 1862 to 1868. He was also a journalist and a military officer. He helped defeat Justo José de Urquiza in the Battle of Pavon in 1861 before his role as president, which was what led him to become the president because of him destroying or defeating this leader. He could prove that he could also be president and lead the people. Another one of his accomplishments was he founded La Nación, which was a leading daily newspaper in Argentina, which was actually really successful and got awards.
The Argentine War for Independence was not at all peaceful. The actual war lasted 8 years, but it was followed with wars with Brazil and a couple civil wars. The wars with Brazil were mostly a result of poor leadership in Argentina. It was very unstable, and a lot of the South American colonies declared independence from Spain around the same time. So borders were very uncertain, and people were really fired up about their independence and what their land was. So those two wars were about borders and land. The civil wars were mostly started because of changing ideas and new opportunities during the actual War for Independence. But those didn't really end until a lot later. They ended with the 1853 Constitution, which was closely inspired by the United States Constitution, and it left a high level of independence for individual provinces.
So, how does the Argentine Revolution compare to other revolutions? The Argentine Revolution was for independence, not to change the politics in the nation. It was like Haiti in the sense of separation of a colonial power, but was less of an inner revolt and more like a full-on war like the American Revolution. It also organized its government much like the United States. They fought off European forces, still had slaves, had 3 branches of government, developed a system for presidents, had a Senate of 72 members, and also had a Supreme Court. So how would I rate the success of the Argentine Revolution? It was not very successful because of the lack of leadership, the wars, and the struggles that followed. There were a lot of fights between the Creoles about how they should govern the United Provinces of Rio de la Plata, which made the political situation unstable. There was a lack of consistent leadership, and there were many dictators. There was an emergence of different classes at birth, and people could not improve their social situation. They also did not gain independence until over 40 years after they fought the first war. Does colonialism still exist today? Yes, there are many ways the effects of colonialism and some of its ideas still exist in Argentina. As of now, there is an uneven distribution of wealth where only a small portion of the population are rich, while a significant portion of the people are struggling with food insecurity and homelessness. Argentina experiences political instability as there is no consistent leadership and many dictators control too much power and do bad things with them. Leaders are not in touch with the common people, which is another way colonialism still exists. Argentina has an unstable economy because it heavily relies on trade. In the past, Spain exploited Argentina for money, and Argentina was left heavily relying on trade. There are many more examples of how colonialism still exists, but another great example is how the country's language is Spanish, and majority of the people are Roman Catholic, which both originated from Europe. This is our works cited page. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.